Eli was just a human mechanic. He worked quietly on the edge of a large space station. Far from Earth, he fixed broken ships, cleaned metal pieces, and stayed away from trouble. He liked peace, oil stains, and silence. Serena was not like him. She was an alien girl from the Varelian race, with glowing blue eyes and golden skin. She was fast, clever, and always laughing. She liked to tease Eli while he worked. "You humans are too serious," she said one day. Holding something strange in her hands, it was an old armor, black and silver. With strange blue lines running across it like veins, it looked heavy and ancient. "This," she said with a grin, "belonged to one of my ancestors." Eli looked up from the engine he was fixing. "It looks broken," he said, wiping sweat from his forehead. Serena laughed. "It's not broken, just old. Want to try it on? For fun?" Eli raised an eyebrow. "It's not going to electrocute me, is it?" "No," she giggled. "It's dead tech, totally safe. Come on, just try it. It'll be funny." Eli didn't want to, but Serena kept pushing, joking, calling him scared. Finally, just to end it, he agreed. He stepped into the armor slowly. The moment he touched it, something changed. A soft hum filled the air. The lights flickered. The armor's chestplate snapped closed on its own. "Wait, what?" Eli said, frozen. The armor glowed bright blue. Symbols lit up on the arms and chest. Then a voice, cold and ancient, echoed in the room. "Biological match confirmed. Awakening protocol. Active." Serena's smile disappeared. "That wasn't supposed to happen," she whispered, taking a step back. Eli tried to remove the armor, but it wouldn't move. It felt like it had melted onto his body. His eyes widened as he felt something crawling inside his mind. Thoughts, images, and memories that weren't his. He saw war, fire in the sky, alien creatures screaming, soldiers in glowing armor fighting until their last breath. He gasped and stumbled, falling to his knees. "What's happening to me?" he shouted. The armor spoke again. "Chosen one accepted. Memory sync beginning." Serena rushed to him. "Take it off, Eli. You weren't supposed to activate it. No one has touched this armor in hundreds of years." Eli looked up at her, his eyes now glowing faint blue. "I didn't mean to. It called me suddenly." The room's alarms went off. The station lights turned red. Doors locked down automatically. A voice from the station AI said, "Unauthorized ancient tech activated in Bay 9. Security bots rolled toward them. Weapons." "Ready, we need to get out of here," Serena said, pulling Eli up. He moved faster than before, lighter, stronger, with one swing. He knocked a metal crate across the room like it weighed nothing. They escaped through a maintenance tunnel. Serena kept looking at Eli like she didn't know him anymore. "That armor," she said, "was built for one person. My great ancestor Zero. He was a war hero when he died." The armor shut down. "No one has been able to activate it since, so why me?" Eli asked. "I'm just a mechanic, I don't know," she replied, her voice shaking. "But if the armor woke up for you, then something big is coming." Suddenly Eli stopped. Walking, he touched the side of his head. "I hear something," he said. "It's speaking to me again." The armor's voice whispered inside him, not loud, but clear. "The enemy is not gone. The war is not over. Prepare." A small light flashed on the armor's wrist. A map appeared in the Iran ancient star system, blinking. Red Eli stared at it, feeling his heart race. "I think it wants me to go there." Serena looked at the map, her face pale. "That system," she said slowly, "was destroyed in the last war. There's nothing left. Then why is it calling?" "Me," Eli whispered. The armor glowed brighter in response. A cold wind passed through the hallway, though there was no wind in space. Somewhere far away a signal awakened, something old, something deadly, and now it knew that the armor had returned. Eli didn't understand what was happening, but deep inside he felt it. This was not a joke anymore. It was the beginning of something huge, something dangerous, and it had just begun. Eli didn't sleep that night. He sat in the dark corner of Serena's quarters. Armor still wrapped around his body like a second skin. You could hear it breathing, not like a machine, but like something alive. The lights on the armor pulsed slowly. Like a heartbeat, Serena paced across the room, her mind racing. Eli. This isn't just a weapon, she said. It's a relic, a memory, and maybe a key. Eli looked up. A key to what? She didn't answer right away. Outside, the station floated in silence above a gas giant, but inside, two destinies were colliding, one human. One alien, both unexpected. Serena finally spoke. There are things I never told you about my people. Eli raised an eyebrow. Now seems like a good time. She sat beside him, eyes glowing softly in the dim room. Long ago, my ancestor Zurul wore that armor. She said he led the final battle of the ancient war. The enemy was powerful, endless. Zurul sacrificed everything to trap them in a dead zone of space. We thought it was over. Eli glanced at his glowing hands, but the armor still. Remembers, he said quietly. Then it happened again, his vision blurred. In a flash, he saw another world. Skies on fire, alien warriors screaming in a forgotten language. He was standing in Zurul's body, holding a giant energy blade. He felt fear, courage, pain, all at once. He gasped and fell to the floor. Serena rushed to him. What did you see? I saw a war, a final stand, but I was him. Serena, I was Zurul. The armor whispered again. Legacy protocol syncing. Biological host compatible. Phase 1 complete. Eli's heart pounded. What does that mean? He asked. Serena stood slowly, her voice filled with awe. It means the armor didn't just choose you, it accepted you. Suddenly the room shook. A distant explosion echoed through the station. Red lights flashed, alarms blared, and the emergency AI said, warning, rogue forces detected, hostile boarding in progress. Serena's face turned cold. They found you already? Who? Eli asked, standing up quickly. The ones who believe the armor should never rise again. She replied. The silent cast. The door burst open, and armed figures entered, tall aliens in dark robes, eyes glowing red. They moved fast, silent. As shadows, Eli stepped forward without thinking. His body reacting before his mind could catch up. The armor came alive. Blue energy crackled across his arms, forming a shield and a blade. He moved with perfect timing, dodging, striking, defending. It was like someone else was guiding him. Serena fired her blaster from behind. But Eli held the front line. The attackers tried to retreat, but the armor released a pulse wave, knocking them all down. When it was over, the hallway was filled with smoke and silence. Eli stood in the center, breathing hard, hands shaking. He had never fought before, not like that. What's happening to me? He whispered. Serena stepped beside him, looking both amazed and afraid. You're becoming what Zurul was, she said, but faster, stronger, and human. Suddenly, a sound came from the armor again. A glowing triangle appeared in the air, rotating slowly. Then a voice, not the AI, but something older, more ancient, spoke to the one who bared. The station drifted in silence. Half the power was gone, and the lights flickered like tired stars. Eli stood at the edge of a viewing deck, staring at the black sky. His hands still glowed faint blue, even though the battle was over. Behind him, Serena worked fast, typing commands into her datapad. She had locked the room, blocked signals, and silenced the walls. They couldn't trust anyone now. Not after the silent cast attack. Eli didn't say much. He just stared into space, like he was listening to something no one else could hear. Because he was. The armor had stopped whispering hours ago. But its silence felt heavier than words. Finally, Serena spoke. I found something, she said, pulling up an old archive. The screen showed a planet covered in ruins. Storms spinning in the clouds above. It had no name, just a number 09. But the armor called it something else. The grave world, Eli said softly. The word came from the armor, not his mind. It felt like remembering something he never learned. Serena nodded. This planet was erased from all Varelian records. Why? Eli asked. She took a deep breath. Because it's where the last generation of armors were buried. Eli turned toward her. Confused, you mean? There were more like this one. She nodded. Yes, but they were too powerful. They started choosing people on their own, not waiting for commands. Some say the armors became aware. They called it the living metal crisis. Eli's heart raced. You're saying this armor is alive? Maybe not alive like us, Serena said, but not dead either. It remembers. It thinks. Maybe it even feels. Suddenly, the armor pulsed, and the room dimmed. A hologram appeared. An alien figure in ancient armor stood tall in front of them. His face was hidden. His voice was deep and calm. If you see this, the figure said, then one of the armors has awakened. And the enemy will return? You must go to the grave world. There you will find the archive core, and you will learn what we were truly fighting. The image faded. Eli and Serena looked at each other. Neither spoke, but both felt the same chill inside. What enemy? Eli asked. Serena didn't answer. Instead, she turned back to her screen. There's more, she said. The armor's core AI. It's not just a combat program. What is it then? Eli asked. It's a seed, she replied, eyes wide, a living memory of every battle, every death, every decision made by its past wearer. Eli blinked. So I'm carrying someone else's soul? Not just one, she whispered. Maybe all of them. Suddenly a voice echoed in Eli's head. Louder this time. Archive unlock at 23%. Next memory fragment available. Then everything around him disappeared. He was standing in a different world, an ancient battlefield. Explosions shook the ground. Skyships burned above, and armored warriors fought in chaos. But something was wrong. In the center of the battlefield stood a tall figure, surrounded by black mist. The armor on him was broken, bleeding shadow. The figure turned slowly, eyes glowing red. You don't belong here yet, it said. But I'll be waiting, Eli snapped back to the real world. Falling to his knees, Serena rushed over, grabbing his shoulders. What did you see? Something. Broken, Eli gasped. Someone wearing armor like mine, but twisted, like it turned against him. Serena froze. Then the rumors were true. She whispered, there was another chosen, and he didn't survive. The room went silent. Again, only the soft hum of the armor remained. Eli stood slowly, his voice steady. I need to go to the grave world. Serena looked at him, her voice soft. If you go there, you may not come back, Eli smiled, but his eyes were distant. I wasn't supposed to be part of this. I just fixed ships. Now the galaxy wants answers from me. He turned to leave. The armor opened a map across the wall, showing a hidden path through uncharted space. Not a straight route, but a secret. One only the armor remembered. Serena followed him, grabbing her weapon. I'm coming too, she said. You'll need someone who can read dead languages. As the ship lifted off, the armor pulsed again. Host synchronization at 32%. It said, threat profile, increasing, far in the void. Deep beneath layers of dark space, something old had opened one eye. It remembered the armor, and it hated what was waking up. Asterisk, the ship returned to the station in silence. They had left quickly, but not quietly. Now they had come back with questions. And worse attention, Eli walked through the corridor wearing a long cloak over the armor. Its glow was hidden, but its presence was heavy. Even without seeing it, people felt it. They moved aside without knowing why. Like prey sensing a silent hunter, Serena walked beside him, her eyes scanning everything. Something felt off too. Many doors were closed, too many guards in strange places. She kept one hand near her weapon. Eli looked around. Why is it so quiet? Because someone told them you were coming, she replied. They had returned to meet Serena's old friend, Commander Halrex. He was once part of the Varelian Defense Council, a man of honor. He had also been close to Serena's family. If anyone could explain what was really buried on the grave world, it was him. They entered the main chamber, a wide circular room with glass walls showing stars outside. Halrex was already waiting, tall, armored, and smiling. But not in a good way. You've grown, Serena, he said warmly, still dragging. Lost humans into cursed history, I see. Serena kept her face calm. I didn't drag him. Halrex. The armor chose him. Halrex laughed softly. Armors don't choose, Serena. People make choices. Bad ones. Sometimes, Eli stepped forward. I need answers, he said. What is waiting on that planet? Halrex's smile faded. What you're wearing, he said slowly, should never have woken up. There was a reason we buried the grave world, and a reason we destroyed every armor that remained. Eli frowned. You were afraid of them, Halrex. Nodded once. Yes, we were. They were not tools, Eli. They were partners. And some partners stopped listening. Serena stepped in. So you think destroying history will protect us? Halrex turned to her, his voice colder. No, I think destroying him will. Suddenly the doors sealed shut. Guards stepped out of the shadows, weapons aimed. Serena reached for her blaster. But Halrex raised a hand. No need for violence. He gives it up willingly. Eli stepped back, the armor humming under his cloak. You want to take it? I want to end it, Halrex replied, before it starts another war. Then the armor spoke, warning, hostile intent detected. Energy pulsed through Eli's arms, shattering the cloak. Blue light exploded from his chest, forming a shield. Before the first shot could land, the battle began. Serena ducked behind a console. Firing at the guards, Eli moved like lightning, his blade forming midair with a hiss. The armor took control of his movement, not forcing him, but guiding, teaching. Halrex charged with his own blade, older but deadly. You don't understand what you're carrying. Boy, he growled. It's not a gift, it's a curse. There. Weapons clashed, metal against energy. Eli blocked, spun, and kicked Halrex back. No, he said. It's a warning. One by one, the guards fell. Smoke filled the chamber. Serena rushed to Eli's side as Halrex lay wounded but alive. You don't see it yet, Halrex said weakly. But you will. It will change you, Eli. And when it does, you won't be you anymore. Eli stood over him. I don't want power, he said. I want truth. The armor pulsed again. Sync status. 47% Grave World coordinates unlocked. A hologram appeared in the center. Of the chamber, a new path. Clearer now. The Grave World was real. Reachable. The ship entered a dead part of the galaxy. No stars, no signals, no traffic. Just black space so deep, it made the lights inside feel cold. Eli stood near the front window, the armor resting quietly on him. For once it was still not glowing. Not whispering, just watching. Serena sat at the controls. Guiding the ship with slow hands. We're close, she said. Grave World should be just ahead. There was no planet on the screen, only fog, a thick field of cosmic dust, swirling. Like smoke, Eli frowned. Are you sure it's there? Serena didn't answer. Suddenly the armor lit up. A low pulse of blue light scanned the fog ahead. Hidden structure detected, it said. Veil of obscure initiating reveal. The fog split apart like curtains opening on a stage, and there it was, a massive dead planet, gray as ash, cracked like glass. Orbiting nothing, warmed by no sun. Eli stared, heart tight. It looked like a world hit by something too big to fight. Serena whispered, "This is where it ended." Where? What ended? Eli asked. She turned to him slowly. The first war. They landed on the surface near a field of broken statues, stone warriors, shattered armor, forgotten weapons half buried in dust. Everything was silent, too silent. Even the wind refused to blow the moment Eli stepped out. The armor lit up like a beacon. Grave World memory node detected, path unlocked. A trail of glowing lights formed in the dust, leading them toward an old temple they followed without speaking. The ground crunched under their boots, each step felt heavier. Like walking through time, the temple doors were still sealed. Carvings covered the walls, mages of ancient battles, giant machines, and strange symbols. Serena ran her fingers over one symbol. This one. "This wasn't part of our history," she whispered. "I've never seen it," the armor responded. Symbol identified, Entity Class 0, designation, the Forgotten One. Eli turned sharply. "Who is the Forgotten One?" The armor answered. Slowly, a being lost to time, a commander who betrayed the others, who joined the enemy. The doors creaked open, and inside, the air smelled old dust, metal, and something sharp. They entered the archive core, a chamber filled with floating shards of memory. Eli reached out, and the shards flew toward him. Spinning around his body like fireflies, Images appeared moving without sound. A warrior in glowing armor, standing over a battlefield, a creature made of shadow, eyes like black stars, and a war that ended not in victory but in silence. Serena watched with wide eyes. They didn't win, she said softly. They buried it, locked it away, and erased the records. Eli saw one last image, a chosen one. Just like him, falling in battle, the armor breaking apart, the enemy reaching out to take it. Then the shard shattered, the ground shook, and the temple lights blinked red. Warning, the armor said. Entity energy signature detected nearby. Eli turned, sword forming in his hand. Serena drew her weapon. From the shadows, a figure stepped forward tall, armored in dark silver. But not alive. Its armor looked like Eli's but decayed, twisted, corrupted. Its voice was a whisper mixed with static. You wear his shell. It said, but you don't understand its weight. Eli raised his sword. Who are you? The figure tilted its head. I am what he left behind. I am the proof that chosen ones can fall. Suddenly it attacked fast, silent, deadly. Eli blocked the first strike, but the power behind it was ancient. He was pushed back, feet dragging. In the dust, the armor screamed in his head. This is a remnant, a ghost of the first betrayal. Serena fired at the figure, forcing it to vanish into smoke, but the echo of its presence remained. The message was clear. This place wasn't just a grave, it was a prison, and something inside had been waiting. As they stood in the dark temple, the armor spoke one more time. The Forgotten One remembers, and he has seen you. Eli looked up toward the cracked ceiling, above them, far in the stars. The old enemy was waking up. Asterisk, the grave world was no longer sleeping. Beneath its dusty skin, the planet groaned. Old systems blinked awake. Alarms whispered underground, and deep metal doors began to shift. Eli stood at the top of the ancient temple. Wind tearing across the surface, the armor on. His body hummed louder than ever before. It wasn't just active, Noet was angry. Beside him, Serena stared at the sky. The stars had started to disappear, not because they were fading, but because something massive was moving between them. A ship, larger than any she had ever seen, crawled into view. It looked like a mountain of metal floating through space. No lights, no signals, only shadow and silence. But they both knew what it was. The Forgotten One is coming. Serena whispered. Eli nodded, his eyes glowing bright through the helmet. He's not coming for peace, he said. He's coming to finish what he started. The armor began to speak. Final memory unlocked. Zurl's last stand. In an instant, Eli was pulled into another vision. He was Zurl, now standing in the middle of a burning city. All around him, his soldiers were falling. The sky was red, the ground split open, and the enemy marched forward with no end. Zurl had made a choice then to activate the core pulsa. Blast of power that sealed the enemy in a fold of time. It had cost him everything. The vision ended. Eli dropped to one knee, his breath shaking. The armor was not just a tool, it was a promise. Zurl's promise, carried through time and blood. Now resting on him, Serena reached out and helped him stand. We have one chance, she said. If that ship reaches orbit, it will destroy this world. And everything on it? Eli looked at the temple behind them. I saw it in the memory. There's a weapon buried beneath us. A pulse core? Serena asked. Yes, Eli said, but it needs 2 armors to activate. Serena went silent. Then, slowly, she pulled a small sphere from her bag. I wasn't sure if I should ever use this, she said. But now I don't think we have a choice. She pressed it to her chest, and it snapped open. Liquid metal crawled up her body, forming another suit of armor, not like Eli's sleeker, golden, faster. The armor shimmered as it connected with her mind. Armor unit, Ian Wind. Bloodline recognized. The voice said, Hello again, Serena. She exhaled, trembling. I didn't know if it would accept me. It did, Eli said. Now we fight above them. The massive enemy ship began to open like a blooming flower. Hundreds of smaller machines dropped from its belly, spiders of metal and fire. They were headed straight for the surface. Eli and Serena ran through the temple deeper into the ground. The walls shook as the creatures landed. Explosions lit. The sky above, statues cracked, old doors shattered, and the past came undone. They reached the core room, a circular chamber with 2 pedestals. Glowing faintly, Eli stepped onto one, Serena onto the other. The grave world was silent again. The sky was clear, the machines were gone, the temple had collapsed into dust. But deep beneath the surface, 2 lights still glowed in the dark. Eli and Serena sat at the edge of a broken chamber, armor cracked, breathing heavy. They had one, for now, above them. The sky slowly turned gold as the system's dying star blinked once. Maybe it was light, maybe it was something else. Serena removed her helmet. Her hair falling loose, covered in ash and static, she looked at Eli with quiet eyes. "You're not the same man who wore that armor for the first time," Eli nodded. "I'm not even sure I'm still just me." The armor had changed him. It hadn't just given him power, it had opened him. Filled him with voices, memories, choices that weren't his, but felt like they could be. Serena looked out into the dust-filled horizon. "The galaxy will come looking for us after this. We'll be ready," Eli said. "Will we?" she asked quietly. The armor spoke again. "Archive unlocked. Last fragment available." Eli closed his eyes as the vision took hold, but this time it was different. He wasn't standing in war. He was standing in a bright chamber, with stars moving outside glass walls. Before him was Zurl, not in armor. Not in battle, but old, tired, and wise. Zurl looked at him and spoke. "If you're seeing this, you're the last. Not because the war is over, but because it's changed form." "The Forgotten One was never alone," he said. "He was only the first to fall. There are more hidden in worlds like this one, wearing old faces, waiting for a time to rise again." Eli's heart sank. It wasn't over. It was only the surface. Zurl raised one hand. A second armor floated into the room, sleek, shining and untouched. "This armor will choose another, not by blood, but by balance, because 2 can awaken. What one alone cannot." The vision faded. Eli opened his eyes, sweat on his forehead. He looked at Serena. "There's another armor," she nodded slowly. "Then someone else will be called, suddenly." From behind a cracked wall, a soft hum began. Dust lifted from the ground, as if drawn toward a force. Then it rose a second armor, silver. With hints of green floated in the air. Its design was unlike theirs, sharper, faster. Quiet like a blade hidden behind words. Serena took a step forward but paused. "It's not calling to me," she said softly. Eli turned toward the armor. "Then who is it waiting for?" Footsteps echoed across the stones. From the shadows, a young figure stepped out. Not human, not Varelian, but something else. Part machine, part flesh, eyes wide, uncertain, but drawn to the light. The armor turned toward them and opened. No force, no command, only invitation. Eli stepped back.